Hi guys, so today we're going to be reviewing the Empress Mini. It just came in yesterday. I did my haul, which has had a lot of views already. People are always curious because it was the Crafter's Companion birthday haul and HSN Craft Day, the last craft day they had for the year until next year, until the end of January, I believe. But so I'm very curious to get into this, measure the plates for you guys. I'm sure it has measurements on here already, but everyone likes to know those kind of things. I did bring out my regular Empress, the big boy or big gal, just so you can kind of have a comparison of those two machines. I'm not going to do a complete comparison because I've done that before in the past with other review videos. So I will include those at the end of the video. But what I did was I have my little machine here. We're going to unbox it. I brought all the plates, the large plates and the regular plates for the Empress, so you can see the kind of comparison of those. I have some 3D cut and emboss folders. I guess they just cut and emboss folders from Anna Griffin that she just came out with. I have some, thin metal dies. So we'll try out different things with it, with different weights of paper so people can have a better idea of what's going on with this little guy. It was a little more expensive than I hoped it would be. And I don't know why I was thinking, I'm like, $100, that sounds good. Well, I mean, that is kind of low. So she asked $129. I think the Gemini normally goes for like $119. You might get some discounts. Right now they have it at $142 and some odd cents on HSN. So today's special was $129, and I think it also has an auto delivery. Does it? I feel like it does. And so let's get started. Okay. So let's just get her opened up. It looks a lot like the same as the packaging of the regular Empress. Really nice. Again, like I mentioned, they had said that it's going to retail for $199, which I'm like, no, I don't think so. That's something I think Bobby Ray Carter had mentioned when they were doing the introductions here. And then I feel like Anna said that it's actually only going to be on HSN, so I don't know, I guess we'll have to wait and see about that. But we have the instructions. It's basically the same as your Empress. So what I do like about the Empress, where Crafter's Companion has like tons of mats and shims and things like that, is that it's just your two cutting plates, the magnetic mat, the metal shim, and then you use your embossing mat and the metal shim, or just the embossing mat. You're not going to put all three of these together with your cutting plates, okay? So if you're cutting, you're normally using the magnetic mat and the metal shim, and if you're embossing, you're going to be using the embossing mat and the metal shim within the plates. But it depends on the item that you're cutting. So it does come with, your basic instructions. It has a few little things in here to get you started, so maybe we'll try out those. I actually pulled out some other dies that I have of Anna Griffin's, but might as well try these since they're here. So I'm gonna have to open these up. But we have our metal shim, we have our two A plates, the magnetic shim with the or magnetic mat, should I say, with the grids on it, and you can cut into these mats. I've been doing it with the one that's covered in white, and I'll show you that in a minute. But I feel like this one's more like a self-healing mat. It's still just a magnet, but she cuts into it, so it's up to you if you want to cut into yours or not. Supposedly, if you do that, if something needs to be embossed, you can cut and emboss at one time in one pass. But I've never really gotten a really great emboss by doing that, so I don't think it's worth cutting into your mat, but it's up to you. And then we have our rubber embossing mat for when you want to get a really nice emboss, right? And the little machine, I think Anna said it weighs about 6 pounds. It's so cute. She looks a lot cuter here in real life. We have our cord, and then it comes with these dies, which are really nice. So this kind of frame die, and then it has, you can cut the center out or not, or just use that for a layer, right? You can cut this piece on another paper by itself. A little, like, it looks like an and, but it's just a swirl, hope. And then it comes with an embossing folder, which is good because I did bring out some embossing folders, but the ones I'm using are the cut and emboss folders by Anna Griffin. So it's good to have these. And it looks like it has a little set of instructions. Let's see. Only because sometimes her instruction sheets are just idea sheets and doesn't really tell you much. But that's really cute because this is a lot of different card ideas using the items that are in there. And I guess that's why she has an auto ship too. That's right. So I do have the auto ship on schedule. So again, when you're using the, it says to 3D emboss, you're going to use your A plates, your embossing folder with the paper inside of it, and then another A plate. So that's all you need with that. And that's basic. To die cut, again, like I told you, you have your A plate, you have your magnetic mat, either the paper and then the die facing down, cutting into your mat, and then the other A plate, or the magnetic mat, your die facing up, your paper, and then the other cutting plate. Depending on how you want to do that sandwich. And then if you're going to emboss, we'll talk about that in a minute, but she's saying to go ahead and use your A plate, the metal shim, your die facing up with the paper still in it, right? Because you've already cut it at this point. As you can see, like here, she showed the pink is off to the side. Here, the pink paper is inside the die. Then your rubber mat, and then your other A plate. Sometimes with cutting, you still need to use your metal shim in here underneath the magnetic mat, and that's up to you. If it's something just not cutting quite right, you need a little more pressure, you can use that metal shim. Now, one thing I did notice on the videos was that she said you really have to give it a good push for it to like want to take the plates. So that's something that might be a little more different from this guy, because you do push it in there, but I don't feel like I have to guide it. She says you do kind of have to guide it at the beginning. It had a little piece of fluff. Of course, I'll take this, plug it in. Oh, it's really covered up here. So same thing, we're just gonna take the cord and plug it in the back right here. And then it has a safety feature where you can't stick your fingers in this backwards, you know, or anything. There's a little sensor in there, it looks like. And I'm not sure for what. With her machine, you have to turn it on, you have to press the button that says run, and then you insert what you're gonna do. With the Crafter's Companion machines, the Geminis, they are always just ready to take your plate. So that if it's on, and you just put your plate in, it'll just start doing it. With this one, you have to press run before you do it, okay? So I'm plug that in. Hopefully I have enough cord. I'm gonna have to go find an extension cord. Oh, that's a bummer. Okay. So our little guy, we have the power button, we have run and reverse, and she really was just talking about the power button and run. She never really bothered with reverse. If you put in a sandwich that's too thick, it'll spit it back out. But reverse is really, I mean, you can use it and just press reverse and you can back it out. But it sounds like she's like, don't mess with that, which is kind of interesting. And as you can see on the regular Empress, it is more of a digital look. It lights up. I don't think these light up, and these are kind of like buttons, where this is just kind of a smooth top. But let me get an extension cord, and real quick before I do that, I guess what we can do is measure the plates. I'm gonna measure the plastic cutting plate because that's basically what we wanna know. And I compared them yesterday, but I didn't measure it. So it's 4 1/4, which is nice, by 7 1/2. Okay, 4 1/4 by 7 1/2. The regular Empress plates are the small ones, or the basic one, is 7 by, I think, 8, just over 8 1/2, like 8 3/4 almost. 7 by 8 3/4. And then for the large Empress, you can also get an extended cutting plate. That's this guy. And this guy is a lot bigger. He's 8 3/4 by longer than 12 inches. I can't even get this on here. I would say maybe 14 inches. Okay, so those are the extended cutting plates for this. This does not have extended cutting plates. It's just what it is. I do not know if you can use these little guys in here, and I probably wouldn't try it because it's so small. Maybe the length, you know, it has, I don't know. I'm not going to try it because I'm not willing to do that, but maybe other brave souls will do it in the future. Let me open this up, and then we'll just get to cutting. Okay, so got everything cut down, only because I had gotten some of Anna Griffin's like matte paper, and I think these were 5 by 7, so I had to cut a piece off so that they're 4-ish, right? So we can go up to 4 1/4 and still fit in our plate. So these are 4 by 7 or so. Just another piece that's 4 inches. I don't care how long it is because we'll be using that. But some different things. So let's just get started. So let's go from easy to a little more difficult. So I'm gonna open this up. I have this little piece. It's 4 by 6 because that's about how big this little folder is. Now, if you're making a standard A2 size card, you're gonna want it to be, well, if you want it to cover the whole card, it's not, well, I mean, it's gonna be 4 inches already, and the whole card would be 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So I would just cut my paper to 4 by 5 1/4. So it's a nice kind of mat over the base of your card. So this one is 6 inches long, so it's a little bit longer. And my paper is double, like the same on either side, but basically, okay, I had to edit a little something because I said a little boob and I don't want to confuse you guys. So, so I do have my 4 by 6 paper here. Now, Anna Griffin does it so you see her name is on here. That's how the front of your paper should be facing. So like, let's say I have a double-sided black piece of paper, but if this side was black and this side was white, because it's a white core paper, let's say, or however, make sure the color that you want, or the side that you want, is facing up, okay? Because it's gonna emboss up into the image, which is how, or into the paper, which is how it should be. I know with Crafter's Companion, I think they do it opposite. Like if there's their names on here, your paper should be facing the other, the bottom side, which is odd. So this is how I know, and this is usually what we do. So for this one, we're gonna use the 2 A plates, and we're just gonna place it right in here. And you can put it at a little bit of an angle if you'd like, just so it doesn't have a speed bump. And what I mean by that is if it's completely straight and you go in there, it kind of, all of a sudden it has something that it has to overcome. And sometimes the machines struggle with that, but you don't really have a lot of angle here because this is basically side to side. So let's go ahead and turn the machine on. And it is backlit, so that's cool. I wasn't remembering if that was the case or not. We have a cute little handle here, of course. And then we're going to do run. If you just put it here, it's not going to do anything, you see? You have to press run. And now it's going. And she said guided in there, but that wasn't bad. It just took it. This is one of the thinner sandwiches that you would do, though. So it took it right in, no problem. And so this is a regular, oh, actually, this says 3D embossing. So I'm not sure if it's that much 3D, but I guess because it does have a couple different layers. But that's really pretty. So again, really nice. I just wanted to mention again, if you're going to do this for a standard A2 size card, you would cut your piece of paper at the 4 inches by 5.5 or so. But I want you to notice that it's nicely framed around the edge with like where the design ends. So if you do a smaller piece of paper, your design's going to stop somewhere odd. It's not going to have that nice little edge. But at the same time, 4 by 6, I mean, I guess you can put that on a 5 by 7 card and it's an inch smaller or half an inch smaller all around. So again, she's kind of gearing these things, still working with the 5 by 7 card, right? Okay, next one is a layers cut and emboss folders. And I just picked these up from HSN. They were in the haul there and you can check it out there. Again, same plates, just the 2 plates. I will cut out one of these guys, but these are really cute. They are sold out right now. But hopefully they'll bring them back. Ooh, I like this one with the little flowers. Those flowers are adorable. So let's do that. Oh, I was gonna cut this out in gold, I believe. Let me think, what was I gonna do? Gold, ready, yeah. So this one is a little bit, again, her name. So your paper should be facing up towards that, which just makes sense. I don't know. I'm not going to keep harping on that, but let's put this in here. It is 4 inches wide. Obviously my paper is longer than that, and actually my paper is a little bit bigger than that. So it's probably 3 3/4 inches wide, this folder. But you already know whenever you want something to cut down into your paper, you always want the nice side of the paper facing the blades. So that's another way you can remember that. Again, we're going to pop this through. I'm just going to move this over a little bit. Distribute that. And I'm gonna get in there. So again, your paper can be as big as 4 1/4 really, but that's about it. Oh, you didn't press run. Okay, well I stuck it in there and then I pressed run. That's the only thing. I'm telling you, my Gemini has me spoiled, so I just throw them in there and it'll just know that it needs to do the work, but this little guy needs to be told. And the Empress, the large one, that's just how it works. So as you can see there, 1 pass. You can save that for something else. Super cute. Let's see how this turned out. This is adorable. I don't know if with the metal shim it would be too much, but I would like that to be a little bit deeper embossed. I mean, it's nice, right? But maybe a little deeper wouldn't hurt anybody. Really pretty. Again, this is thicker paper. I don't think it's 300 GSM, but you know, it's the thick matte metallic paper. So we have that. I wanted to try cutting out, I guess we'll just go to the cutting now. So let me, actually, no, I have one more thing. Only because I want to try these out. These are the trimming border emboss cut folder is what it says. Some of these descriptions now sound like AliExpress descriptions where it's like shimming, cutting, I don't know. They always have all kinds of weird names here. But this one cuts the 3 different little kind of borders pieces that you can put on a card. And I'll do this one because this one's pretty. This is going to be the same thing. I mean, again, put your paper the right way there. What did I want to cut with this one? I don't remember. Oh man, I was going to do this one. Let me think. I have the gold. I have the gold and the red. We'll just cut it out in this red, even though I wanted to use the red for something else. I'll probably have to go and get another piece of paper because I was going to use that red for a different thing. So again, just the same, and then run. Ooh, that one's popping. Again, it did have that speed bump. I put it straight across at the top, so maybe I should have angled it a little bit. And this is thinner paper. This is just Recollections from Michaels. And I don't know, the emboss is not that wonderful on this one. Let me see. Why does it stick so well? It's embossed. It didn't even cut the bottom part. No, no, no. Oh well, I'm gonna give that a tug. Okay, cut it now. The embossing on that one was not that great. I actually like the deboss side better, but there it is. You can see, I mean, it's in there. Maybe we need to shim it. You can shim it with another piece of paper, you know, if you wanted to put a piece of paper, put your, then, you know, your folder with the paper in it, and then this, because that little bit of paper might give it a little more oomph, or the metal shim, right, which might be a little bit too thick, but we'll see. Okay, all right, so next thing I wanted to cut was some of those new ones, these guys. Just because they're intricate and they're so pretty. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and cut the... Let me go get another piece of paper, and I will be right back. Okay, I'm going to use the piece of paper that I had done initially, and I didn't want to confuse you guys with. I had done some embossing, and I did it in opposite fashion, and I was like, no, I don't want to confuse you. So I edited that part, which I normally don't do, but it really was just going to be confusing. So I'm like, no, let's not do that. So I'm going to take this outer piece. Oh, this outer... die, and so let's put down a plate, which is a plate, and you can switch your plates around every once in a while, down, up, whatever, to keep them from warping too badly. My plates don't really warp that bad, so I guess I'm doing a good job, even though I'm not consciously doing that. But magnetic mat, I'm going to put the die face up, meaning the cutting edge is, I can touch it here, it's face up. And then I do have the piece of paper that I had used earlier that I did incorrectly, so I was like, you know what, I guess you can use the correct one, doesn't matter. Just, you know, whatever paper you're gonna use. It is about a 4x6 die. This paper is a little bit shy, but especially since it got embossed, it kind of shrinks up a little bit. Okay, I could tape that down, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to put this over on top very carefully. As you can see, I cannot see the die, so hopefully it cuts edge to edge. And again, let's run that. And that's a good, I can feel it was nice. And I don't really have to push it too hard. I don't know, every time Anna was demonstrating, she's like, you really got to give it a push. So, I don't know. Or maybe she was trying to make sure it was going to cut. But look how cute. Again, whatever cutting is facing your cutting edge, that's the front of the paper, right? So it curves the edges nicely. So there's that. Kind of cool, because it has a little texture to it. Oh, there we go again. And then move this away. And I'll just show you real quickly how it kind of looks as far as the cutting. See, I didn't cut into this, but it still squishes the die so much that it kind of gets indented there. And then this is the cut that it made on the plate. It's not horrible. I mean, that's typical. That's kind of what the Cuttlebug looks like, or anything else that you cut through. All right, I'm gonna use this guy. And I guess, I don't know, it has some embossing areas, like these little petal areas. I don't know if you can see that. Those little areas would be what would be embossed. So not a lot. I'm not gonna place it down into my magnetic mat at this point, but maybe we'll emboss it just so you can see how to use the embossing. So again, a plate, which is like really stuck down, magnetic, our die facing up, my gold paper, which has a white back facing down. Just want the pretty side facing the cutting edge. And this time, you know, I cut on this side of my plate. I'm going to turn it over and cut on the other side. And I try not to usually cut on the side that has the little letters, but I did, so I wasn't paying attention. All right, let's say run. Ooh. That one's feeling it. It looks like it did not cut through right there. I don't really want to move this, but I want to show you guys. Yeah, it definitely did not cut through there or there, as you can see. Like, you can just kind of tell after a while if you're working with this stuff a lot. Look, it's still stuck down. So these little areas are definitely not cut. Now, it scares me to put a metal shim in this because it is new, but let's go a plate, metal shim, magnetic mat with the paper still attached. Everything's still on there. And a plate again, and I'm gonna just keep it the same way. Let's see if it'll take it. Oh, it's taking it. And this will do it. If this doesn't cut all the way through, I will be surprised. This should do it. Okay, perfect. So I did want to show you guys that, you know, a time that you would need to use the metal plate too, because it doesn't hurt it. But if you have something really intricate, that just helps you out. So let's remove this, pull this away from this guy. Aw. Now, I'm not going to take the paper out. It's really stuck in there, which is good for us because what we need to do is take that away. You can leave your metal shim. I'm going to put the die still facing up. And then we're going to take our rubber mat, put that right on top. So what I do like about this one is that it's the same plate system as your Empress. And I mean, all the Geminis basically have the same plate system. The Gemini Go does not really do embossing very well, though. It'll eat your embossing mat instead of actually embossing. So again, I'm going to turn this over this time. And let's press run. I think I'm only going to cut one other thing probably from the kit that it came with, like one of the words or something like that. But other than that, this is pretty much what it does. And look, nice. I can see that's pressed in there really nicely. The next thing I'm going to do is the Precious Moments. Oh my gosh. Precious Memories. I always call it Precious Mode by Crafter's Companion. And I'm afraid of that, just so you guys know, because it seems like quite a to-do, but I think it'll be okay. I already have my ideas of how to make it, like, just do what it says. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to chat too much on that one because it's going to be long already as it is to make a whole little mini album. But anyway, I would pop those out. Some of them are still stuck in there, but they come out easily. You know, if I had my little brush, I would do that. But really pretty. So, you know, you can layer these things up, of course. I shouldn't have cut the red paper. My thing was to put, where's the black piece of paper? Where's the one I cut? You guys are probably looking at, nope, here it is. So this layers over this with that pretty background, and it has a little texture to it. You can put something like that on top. She's so funny. She was layering stuff up and she's like, oh, I don't like doing, well, because then it's going to disappear. Like but I've seen her do things where like she puts so many things, Anna Griffin, that in the back, the stuff she put initially, you won't even see it anymore. So I'm like, what's the point of all that? But let's say you had this little thing in the background, you know, a little something. You can layer a bunch of these together. I mean, obviously these are all really pretty cuts, so that works out really nicely. I have to clean this out, but I'm going to do that later. I'll put that to the side. And I guess one last thing I just want to cut for you guys is something that it came in the kit. So let's say hope, because we need a sentiment for all these little pieces that we just cut. Maybe I'll put it together in a card. We'll see. I'm not promising anything because I kind of got to get moving. Veterans Weekend's coming up. I didn't realize, so I'm like, oh, I just came from a whole time that I didn't really have privacy to make videos, and now the kids are gonna be home for 3 days, and the husband. All right, I'm gonna try cutting this without the without the metal shim, just to see how well that cuts. So we have that die blade facing up. I have this just a little extra piece of paper. This is just Recollections type paper. And then this guy, I'll face him the other way this time so it doesn't warp too much. And let's run it. So tell me, guys, if you went ahead and picked it up, even though I know we all were like, oh, we don't need this. It's cute. It works. I mean, I'm kind of liking it better than the Gemini Go, and I hate to say that because I've had the Go for a while, but I have not used it. So I might make room for this on my countertop, like on my desk. Now, does she have a little pop hole to get this out? I'm just going to squeeze it. I didn't want to, I'm sorry. But there are holes for it. So if you poke this little hole, it would help you pop out your little word. But it's nice. Okay, guys, so we kind of put her through the ringer. The only other thing that people still have that are not going to fit in here are like the Biggs dies, the steel rule dies, those big heavy ones that Sizzix still makes and you can get, you know, at any craft store. Those big guys are not going to fit in here. But, you know, it's for your thin metal dies, your embossing folders of different brands and stuff, because I know a lot of times people ask about that. I mean, they're all pretty interchangeable. You might have to do the sandwich a little bit differently. Like, let's say this is thicker than like this little thin one, but they both worked just with the A plates. So you might have to play with that a little bit. I'm not sure about these guys, or from a fan. I might return them. I'll have to try out the other ones and see what's going on with that. But thanks for watching, you guys. I hope that gives you an idea of the power of what this thing can do. She did really good, really great job. I mean, obviously it's smaller. So thanks for watching, and I will see you at the next one. Bye now. Oh, I was taking pictures, but before I go, and this is completely petty, did you guys get the little dust cover for her? I know Anna had mentioned that they were only gonna make a few hundred or whatever, and when they sold out, like, that's it. I was like, oh yeah, that'll be cute, but it was $70. She wanted $69 for the little cover for this, and it also came with a bag But like I have tons of bags, so you know I was like, I don't know. So that's basically 35 bucks a piece. The dust cover for the big guy was $100. So I noticed that hasn't sold out because like, come on. The one for this did sell out. So there's some people out there who just had to have it. And I understand, but I'm like, maybe what I'll have to do is do like a little sewing project to make a little dust cover for her, and that'll be just as cute, if not cuter. But it was nice. But I was just like, 70 bucks. I don't know. You guys know I'll pay for stuff, but that was just a little bit out of what I thought was reasonable, or maybe they should have sold them separately, you know? So if you want the bag, get the bag. If you want the dust cover, get the dust cover. If you want both, you know, order them separately. But it was all together and it was kind of a lot of money. But anyway, let me know if you guys got it and what you think of it, if you even have it yet, because basically I kind of jumped the gun and got these things a little bit early. But anyhow, all right. Well, thanks for watching and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye now.